Society has been pushing us into boxes. Me, you, everyone, and branding us, the labels, the expectations. Whether it's the car you drive, the phone you use, or the clothes you wear. These boxes are designed to make everything black or white. So you're either a part of society's standards or you're directly branded as an outcast. And it's not just the material goods. It extends to our very own identities. See, society itself thrives on unique perspectives, talents, and contributions of individuals from different backgrounds, genders, and ethnicities. And it is this diversity that is crucial to enrich our community, fuel innovation, and propel progress. However, despite the recognition and celebration of diversity, there are still many areas where inequality persists. An issue hitting home for me, and for many young women around the world, is gender inequality. Now, one would think that with the progress we have made in the past few years, that women would be granted the same opportunities as men. Our fight for equal wages is ongoing and is a part of a huge, colossal problem. But the core of such ideals blossom from what one calls home. The favoritism towards putting the son's education over their daughters and stifling their potential is a reality that might consciously or even unconsciously occur in any given family unit. And for as we all know, education itself is the key to growth, success, and empowerment, regardless of the gender. Yes, it is unfortunate, but it's also undeniable that this truth perseveres over many households and stems from a deep-rooted societal ideal and gender stereotype. Now, as we all know, the first step in addressing any issue is admitting it exists. For we humans find it easier to lie to ourselves and say we mean no harm, whilst our actions show otherwise. And even though the media has shown a spotlight on this issue, and many figures have spoken up about women's equality and right to education, this issue still prevails over many households. So as parents, the need to reflect is essential. For you are the ones that play the pivotal role in breaking the cycle of inequality. And you must ask yourself just one question. Am I setting my daughter up for failure? Now, we as young women may experience this in many forms. It can start from a young age, where two children, son and daughter, are sent to different schools, giving the daughter a clear inferiority complex. Or when the son is provided with more opportunities to join clubs and get private tutoring, while the daughter is often led to carry a more nurturing role. And finally, the most prominent example is how parents are willing to fully sponsor their son's education in top-notch universities abroad, while the daughter is often forced to stay in a hometown college to save up on costs and expenses. But it's not just about the expenses. We women are still seen as creatures that need protection and are weak. Therefore, especially our fathers have this instinct to keep us cocooned and within arm's reach to ensure our safety and protection. Now I want each one of you to ask themselves why such ideals are put in practice in the first place. Yes, the answer is not simple. It stems from a variety of complex factors, including cultural, social, economic, and historical influences, with each set of factors varying depending on the specific context and cultural norm of each society. And now, this brings us to the traditional gender role. For in many families, it is believed that the son is expected to carry on the family name, inherit property, and provide for the family. This is due to something called generational transmissions. For our parents are raised with the belief with a certain gender bias principle, which is then further externalized in their own parenting styles and decisions. This goes hand in hand with the historical context, for practices put in place back then included patriarchal structures. And even though we have evolved to fight against such discriminations, this issue still prevails and is entrenched within many generations, favoring male dominance and authority. The second lens in which this could be looked at is economic consideration. Parents tend to prioritize the education of the son based on the assumption that he is more likely to face a higher earning potential due to the salary inequality between men and women. But what they don't take into consideration is the ever-worsening status of our economy, where predominantly one salary cannot sustain a family in this new age. And so I decided to bring this up with a parent and ask him why things are how they are. And let me tell you, I received a very harsh answer. Aren't you getting married in a few years? Wow, I see. Now, I know many women who've been through similar hurdles. It can be your friend, your family, or even your neighbor. Well, the story I'll be telling today is my story. And ironically enough, it doesn't start with me. This series of unfortunate events begin with my mother, the only daughter amongst her 5 siblings. See, from a young age, my grandfather instilled in them that they have to excel in everything, especially since he was known around town as the strict school principal. And no offense to my uncles, but according to Grandma, my mom was the smartest of them, and she graduated high school with the highest average. See, Mom always had a thing for studying, and weirdly enough, she still does. And so, she wanted to pursue higher education and enroll in university. But to her dismay, the only university was 2 hours away, in the capital. Now, we all know the stereotype of being the only girl with a bunch of brothers and how overprotective they can be. Well, if you think one brother is a lot to handle, imagine 5. And so, both they and her father were against the idea. And she ended up enrolling in her hometown institute, finishing English literature. However, to this day, whenever we visit my grandfather's home or my uncle's home, it's the same old story. You stood in the way of my dreams. I will forever hold a grudge against you. If you hadn't done that, I would have been in a totally different spot in my life. Well, fast forward to me, the eldest daughter of the family. See, from a young age, I was led to believe that the harder I worked, the more doors of opportunity opened up for me. So I did. I worked harder. I led anti-bullying campaigns. I became the head of the student council, and I even excelled in my studies. And yes, doors of opportunity opened up for me. And I received acceptances and scholarships to universities in England and Amsterdam. But what I didn't factor into the equation was my mother. Her fear of losing her only daughter and sending her away to a foreign land tenfolded as soon as I graduated. And so, history repeats itself. And I ended up staying in university in our city. But here's what really sparked my grudge. My recently graduated brother, who is now applying to universities in Germany, Finland, and Amsterdam. And guess what? It's with my mother's full approval. He will learn to rely on himself. More doors of opportunity will open up for him. He will learn to be more responsible. Well, I would have gained the same benefits had I left. But my argument always fell on deaf ears. So back then, I decided to give up. And my grudge and envy only grew. So many women go through similar hurdles. The limitations placed on our opportunities was not only a disservice to us, but a disservice to society itself. We women could have made many more significant contributions had we been provided with the same opportunities given to our brothers. So everyone, take these stories as a reminder of the cost of gender inequality, not just for individuals like myself, but for the progress of society as a whole. So, it is essential to raise awareness and encourage parents to have a clear and honest conversation so that their children can discuss, voice, and share their ideas regarding this issue, so that any decision made regarding the children's education is made fairly and collectively, ensuring each child equal opportunities based on his talents and interests rather than on gender. For it is you, parents, that lead by example. And if you, at your core, encourage your children to pursue their interests and identify their individuality, then the cycle of inequality would end with them and not be passed on to their children, who, if were negatively influenced, would continue this chain of disparity. The second step that should be taken is the empowerment of young girls. Highlighting the achievements of women across various fields can help young girls aim for a brighter future and have high hopes. And it also encourages the acceptance of working women, especially in male-dominated fields. Having discussed the issue of gender inequality within a household, we can deem it as the root of gender discrimination. For it is where children form their ideas and perception of the world. So by fostering an environment that values equal opportunity for all its children, regardless of their gender, then parents can help dismantle the barriers that hold our daughters back. For parents and guardians, the question still stands. Am I setting my daughter up for failure? But it's not just our parents' job to strive for a change. We women should stand hand in hand and strive for a better tomorrow. We should inspire and be inspired. We should scream and advocate for our voices to be heard. We should work harder and be smarter and turn into self-starters so we can all get a lot farther. So scream, fight, advocate, and make yourself heard. Because at the end of the day, we women have to fend for ourselves. Mom, I love you. But my dreams cannot be contained, and I will study my master's abroad. I won't let you down. Mom, I'll make you proud. Thank you.